What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for the day. Today is Tuesday, which means there's obviously Taco Tuesday on Prizepicks, so that is very exciting. I'm going to have that in today's video. I'm also going to be middling the Taco Tuesday, and I'll kind of get into what I mean by that when we get into the actual entry. But yeah, I mean, it really, the most important part about Tuesday is it's really the start of our week of betting, because that's when a lot of volume can actually come in. That's when some of these lines for Thursday's games, Friday's games start getting on the board. And if you guys don't know, Sunday and Monday are normally very slow for us. I only send out maybe like 4 or 5 entries. I think I only sent out 4 entries on Sunday and like 4 entries yesterday also. And, it didn't do very well. But on Saturday, we actually go up like 25 units. So you got to take everything with a grain of salt, right? If you go up 25 units in a day and then, you give back like 6 or 7 units, that does happen sometimes, right? This is not a linear path. And what I mean by that is some days you're going to go up 20 units, 25 units. If you don't believe me, this is actually the Saturday before that. We went up 40 units this day, one of our best days ever on the VIP, and this is going back 15 months, right? We are profitable 14 out of the 15 months that I've done this. This right here was 2 Saturdays ago. We go up, 40 units. This was this Saturday. We go up 25 units. And then pretty much this was yesterday. And really not too much to go over. We have correlation here that ended up kind of going red-red together. And then this also almost went red-red together. And just would have meant that this was very correlated together. As always, we know League of Legends is very correlated. We know Valorant and Counter-Strike are very correlated. I will say League of Legends, that's why I bet on it so much. It's my favorite esport. I think it's the most correlated esport. And then really second to none is football. Football is the most correlated thing that you can really bet on Prizepicks, I believe. Second most, very close second, is League of Legends. And then we kind of go down to like a Valorant and Counter-Strike. And a lot of times why I take these Valorant lines is because they don't have any payout shift, okay? So it's important to get the right payout too. If you're playing correlated entries and you're only getting like 5x or 6x for a full 4-man entry, there's something wrong, right? I believe this one right here is like a 9x that we have set up. So going into some of yesterday's entries with the YouTube play, and also right here, right, we have Heretics and KCB that just finished. And Heretics goes 2-1. It's pretty much exactly what I said. If you remember in yesterday's video, I talked about KCB sweeping the series was the same odds as, like, for example, Shohei Ohtani hitting a home run, right? So it could still happen, but it's more unlikely to happen than to happen, right? But that's exactly what happened. KCB did not sweep the series. Heretics actually takes 1 game away from them, and Trayson ends up getting 12 kills. So we are set up tonight with Bree Stewart. If you guys did tail this entry yesterday, I will also say by the time I was going to bed, I like to always check if the lines have bumped. And this did bump up to 8. I know it bumped up to 7.5 about 2 or 3 hours after I sent the video out, and then bumped all the way up to 8. Okay, so when I send these videos out, try to get here as soon as possible, whether that means turn on post notifications or just check your phone around this time or whatever it is. If you got Trayson at 7, that's amazing. He obviously got 12 kills, so he pretty easily hits this. And then Heretics, because they lost 2 games, Ren only got 6 kills, and this guy won 2 games, right? So he gets 6 kills in the first game, 6 kills in that second game. So he actually goes over in the 2 wins that they did have there. So we're set up for this. This game is actually happening right now. So this could be, I think it's a 9x for us. So that would be nice. Keep our fingers crossed. Yeah, it is a 9x. So this would be really nice to hit here. And so again, not too eventful of a day just because it was a Monday yesterday. But as we get into today, tomorrow, that's really when things are going to start ramping up, especially once we start getting to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? And there's really no reason to like force entries, right? On like a Sunday, Monday, there's just not as many lines out. I would way rather spend these units on like a Friday, Saturday when there's just everything in our face ready to take, right? So I will say since May 1st, guys, we're up 45 units alone. This is what that day looked like on Saturday, where we went up like 25, 26 units that day. Since May 1st, we're up 45 units. We're up 170 units on the VIP so far this year. And last year alone, we went up 500 to 600 units. A lot of those units coming around the time of right now, right? So this is really June 6th to October 15th. And I took these screenshots because this is the Canadian football season. You guys may be like, what? I didn't know Canadian football was going on, and that is actually what we've been betting on these past couple of Saturdays is Canadian football. And that is why we've had these big Saturdays, is because of football, right? Football season is second to none, right? It's amazing. And the whole last Canadian football season, we went up like 300, well, I guess it's like 250 units, 240 units in like a 4 or 5 month span. That averages 55 units a month. And that is a lot in part of last year because we bet so much on Canadian football, the start of college football, and the start of the NFL season, obviously, right, guys? So Again, let's go ahead and get into the actual entries of the day here. So we do have Taco Tuesday, obviously. We have Sergey Bob Borovsky, I believe is how you say his name. Sorry, guys, if I butchered that, but I'm just going to call him Sergey to go over goalie saves. We're going to take him with Bree Skies to go over 4.5 assists. Brittany Skies to go over 4.5 assists. I'm about to get into why I like Skies over assists, but I do kind of want to talk about today's entry because they kind of make sense together, if that makes sense, because I'm taking a middle, okay? And if you don't know what a middle is, it's where I take one guy to go over on one line, and I actually take him to go under on a different line right here. So you guys can see Sergey, his real line is 27.5 goalie saves, okay? The Taco Tuesday today is 23.5 goalie saves, okay? So with Sergey, I'm going to take him over on one line on Taco Tuesday, and I'm going to take him under on his regular line, and his regular line is 27.5. The kind of theory of this is a middle, right? So if he gets 24, 25, 26, or 27 saves, we would actually win in both entries right here. We did it a couple weeks ago with Tyrese Halliburton, if you guys remember. I believe his line was like 18.5, his normal line, we took that under, and then his taco was like 13.5. He ended up getting 14 points, so we actually hit the under and the over, right? So that is what a middle is called, and I really like doing it with players, especially like goalie saves or points or something, because if you think about it, guys, for an NHL goalie, he is most likely going to get at least 20 plus saves, right? Is it likely that he's going to get like 5 saves in a game? No, that's very unlikely unless some like injury happens and he gets taken out of the game, right? He's probably going to get at least 20 saves, okay? And the highest that he's probably going to get is around like that 40 range, right? So he's kind of in this band of saves, if that makes sense, where he's most likely going to get between like 20 and 40 saves, and even more than that, right? He's probably most likely going to get like 23 to like 30 saves, if that makes sense. So he has a high chance, a high probability of getting between like that 23, 24, and that 27, 28 range right there. So right there, if that makes sense to you guys, is that like, he's not going to get 5 saves in this game, right? He's probably going to get 20 plus saves, but he's probably not going to get any more than like 40 saves, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm taking him under on one line and over on the other line on Taco Tuesday, obviously, right? So let's get into why I like Skies, and then let's get into why I like Jan Summer, okay? So there's no League of Legends lines out now, and I wanted to get this video out, obviously, because the Taco is kind of a pressing matter. So, yeah, this is going to be the first play of the day with Skies, and let's talk about that, right? So I'm taking her over assists, and the reason why I'm taking her over assists is because she is playing the Chicago Sky, okay? And the Chicago Sky actually are one of the worst defenses in the league. You guys can see that they rank 10th overall in assists allowed. Versus guards, they're actually the worst in the league. They're 12th out of 12th in the league right here for guards, and that's what Brittany Sky is. She's a shooting guard, and you guys can see she really goes, bases her assists on how strong the defense is as she plays, right? You guys can see the Fever, they are opponent rank number 1, so they are the number 1 in assists allowed. She goes under. Right here, the New York Liberty, they're number 4th in the league. She goes under. Again, she plays the Fever. She gets 4. They are number 1 in the league. She goes under. Right here, the Atlanta Dream, they are 2 in the league, and she goes under, right? And then when she plays some of these more easier matchups, like the 11th ranked team, the 10th ranked team, the 12th ranked team, because they allow a lot of assists, she actually goes over this line, okay? Connecticut Sky, she goes over. New York Liberty right here, they are 4, but she goes over. Right here, they are 7th. Phoenix, I actually forgot what the Phoenix name is, sorry guys. But they are 7th, she goes over here. Connecticut Sky again, they are 11th, she goes over here. And then Washington, this was early in the season, or sorry, Atlanta again, Atlanta Dream again, they're 2nd, and she goes over here. So hopefully that kind of makes sense, right? Against like the 11th, 10th ranked team, she is going over a lot, and against like the number 1, number 2 defenses, she was going under. And that makes sense, right? Against very, very strong defenses, the assists are not going to flow as easily against like a team that you're going to be able to score close to 100 points against if they're a weak defense, and Chicago Sky is definitely a very weak defense, okay? So this is going to be the first play of the day. Second play of the day is going to obviously be that other middle where I take Borovsky to go under goalie saves, and I'm taking Jan Summer to go over goalie saves in soccer right here, Inter Milan versus Monterrey. I really like it at 2 goalie saves. I could get into a lot of details, but I do want to talk about other sportsbooks odds. If you look right now on DraftKings, Jan Summer's line to go over 2 goalie saves is minus 235, okay, which means he is very likely to do so, and that's what this sportsbook is setting him at. If we look at his opponent right here, which is Esteban Andrada right here at 4 goalie saves, I like Jan Summer a lot more because if we just compare these lines just for the sake of teaching, you can see DraftKings has him at minus 150. Okay, so this guy's like what, like 85 points higher than him, Jan Sommer, to go over 2 goalie saves. So if you don't know what these odds means, I would honestly like look them up in your time. What does sportsbooks odds mean, and what does like a minus versus a plus mean? You know, if you're serious about the game, I would start to learn that type of stuff, because it's going to be important to kind of know these sort of talking points and stuff. But all you need to know is if something is in the negatives, if something is a minus line, it pretty much the sports books are not going to pay you as much for that line hitting, which pretty much means that that they think that line is going to hit more than it's not going to hit. So that pretty much is the main reason why I'm taking Jan Sommer to go over, is because on DraftKings, and if you look on FanDuel, same thing, right? Goalkeepers to make 2 or more saves, the inner goalkeeper is minus 190, right? And this is obviously factoring in him hitting that actual line at 2, but if we can hit it at 2, that would be a nice push for us. If we can get it at 3, and he goes over at 3, that would be obviously a hit for us. So this has a heavy push potential and a heavy actually hitting potential, okay? So these are going to be the 2 entries of the day. Again, we got that middle on Taco Tuesday. If Borowski is off of the board and it's a different taco, just go ahead and pair up that different taco with Brittany Skies, okay, guys? And just kind of, you guys can still take Borowski to go under saves, because I do really like that here. So again, if you have not gotten the VIP yet and want to join us, all you have to do is text me the word Bovada to my number right here on the screen, and I'll get you guys 2 free months of the VIP for doing so. If you're in one of these blue states right here, Bovada is actually available to you, and you can use Bovada. You can put some money into Bovada, take at least $1 entry, and I'll get you into the VIP for 2 months. You can do the same thing with Better, except the amazing part about Better, guys, is I think it's available in a couple more states or some other states, but they're giving you a free $10 for just making an account. So it's super easy to get $10 with Better. All you have to do is text me the word Better, and I'll get you guys set up for that. The last thing I want to do in today's video is I actually want to do a giveaway, right? So I told you guys yesterday I'm doing a $50 giveaway to actually 2 videos ago. So if you commented and gave a review of the VIP 2 videos ago, you're going to be entered in this giveaway. So let's go ahead and run it right now. All right, Sam-P700 right here. He said, no idea you did payment plans. I'll lock in now. So I'm not sure if you locked in for the year. If you are, if you locked in for the year, then that is amazing to see. But you're going to win the $50 giveaway. So go ahead and text me. Again, if you want to lock in for the year, I'm not sure if you did or not. Go ahead and text me also, and we can discuss the details of that. But again, congrats. You're going to win that $50. I appreciate you for commenting, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video for some more entries of the day. Go ahead and lock these in for the entries of the day, and yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching.